Hello, welcome back to BSLIVE Live. In this episode, I want to talk about AI art or artificial intelligence art, and also things like machine learning and the state, like our state at the moment as an artist, digital artist, especially because I'm making a lot of digital artwork and maybe some 3Ds. So yeah, let's first of all let's take a look at this tool. This is the one of the most recent one from Photoroom, and it's using Stability AI. Stability AI is kind of like I think it's like an open source project where they train a lot of large data, image data, and then so it's been trained so it's understand the context and whatever contents. I mean, if you imagine a lot of data, large data with landscape image, humans, animals, flowers, etc., and just so that you end up with something. So if you are using AI, you are able to create you're able to create or prompt anything that you can imagine. So let me try actually landscape, or let's try cityscape. So this is a one example. It's running online at the moment. I think it's free at the moment. Same like Photoroom itself actually. Photoroom, okay, it's generating this city landscape for me. It's probably some kind of like a collage, but I think it's more like not just like a simple collage, like not random. It understands the context, and it can create like a replicas based on whatever you type and prompt in here. And you can of course generate more. And this takes like a few seconds. It's like magic, right? If you want to do this yourself, install it inside your computer, you probably can. Let me explain a bit later. So it's creating more landscape for us. First of all, I want to talk about Photoroom. It was an app on the iPhone and iPad. Now it's actually available. It's available online. Basically, you are able to remove image background from any image you pass it. Okay, let's say I have photograph of animals. Okay, these gorillas I took at Tarunga Zoo so many years ago, 2006 in fact. I want to separate this gorilla photo, and Photoroom is on the iPhone. It's actually a little bit more robust, where you can do like a quick composite. Like it's similar to Photoshop. You can have layers, and so let me separate these gorilla photos before I talk too much. This is one example of machine learning, of course. It understand this is gorilla, this is the background. Remove the background. I can download the photos, right? And this cityscape also, I like this one, nighttime or daytime one. This is it is of course looking a little bit like Tokyo. It's not like a real Tokyo, but you get the idea. So this is the basic idea. You can prompt using the latest AI art generators. You can prompt anything if you want. You can also specify, like in this case, view from the top. Okay, watercolor style. I can generate. It's currently free. This is running like magic, but it's actually computing on their back end. So before I continue, maybe let's check our. Okay, it's creating watercolor. I actually quite like it. Maybe it's actually using art style from artists out there, but it's kind of like remixing the whole thing. So this is the gorilla that's being separated. This is the background. Okay, so if you are in the past, you learn about Photoshop, etc., and you put things together. I want to show it to you. Like you can, if you're like like 3D art, you can put anything at like 3D models. You can also put you can also bring in like 2D models if you want to make like a collage or montage or any. It's like a digital art, right? So I'm just gonna bring that image of the gorilla just as an example today. Okay, cityscape. Just bring it in, maybe with principles. So we have this image. Okay, this guy should come in with alpha channel. Okay, so I can put this guy on top. Oh, doesn't bring in the alpha channel. Let me do it again. File, import image as planes, shadeless with alpha. It should bring in the alpha. Oh, well, in theory you should be able to anyway. So I have these two images, right? With Mac OS Ventura, the latest Mac OS, you can actually do the quick actions like remove background. This is also in iOS and iPad OS 16. This one has alpha. This one doesn't. Huh, interesting. Maybe I missed something here. Download. It's not transparent. That's weird. Okay, the one from Mac remove background is actually working. So do it again. File, import image planes. So in theory it should just work. Move the folder, background. Just bring all of this shadeless, just for example. Okay, now we have this. Let's select all RX90. We got this, and we can save. Giant gorilla city. And if I'm not wrong, we can also generate top view. Cityscape Tokyo top view. Maybe it will give us some kind of perspective image. And this photo room, okay, yeah, it's not bad. This one, I probably can use this. Just download it. So I can go back into Blender and go File, Import, Images Planes. Again, top view. More or less, we are creating some kind of design composite. That's okay, this one maybe, I don't know. And this is, yeah, of course you can export it out as AR. So background image and the context are our subject, and this is magically being generated using Photoroom, and maybe we can at some point create like a tiling image, etc. But this is cool because we can also type in giant gorilla with cityscape background, cityscape of New York by Ansel Adams or something. We can actually maybe prompt like giant gorilla with a mountainscape because Ansel Adam is not really taking photos of cityscape, maybe just landscape, but it will try to generate it for you anyway. Okay, it's a fascinating. I think the idea with Photoroom is that you to create a just background like cityscape, landscape, but you can actually prompt anything with it. Capybara, all kind of anything that you can imagine. Maybe sometimes it fails, and sometimes it gives you maybe not safe for work artworks, but it might actually censor it. So before I go too far, I also want to talk. Okay, there's other than Stability AI, there's also MidJourney AI and DallE 2. DallE 2 is probably the one that's kind of giving you like can be realistic, like this astronaut in Mars riding a horse, this robot baby holding a bird. There's all kind of really great ideas prompted by artists or maybe non-artists, but they have some kind of imaginations. Like if you're like a writer, you have of course like imagination. Everyone have imagination, and they can make something that's totally ridiculous, like pineapple house, like in SpongeBob, monsters, or like robots having wine in Paris. Yeah, all sort of things. Okay, like this avocado chair is also really cool. That's DallE. DallE is really powerful, and I think you pay for the credits. Same thing with MidJourney. MidJourney is more like a concept art. It's trained. I think it's trained using a lot of concept art that's available online. I don't know about the copyright, etc. But for now, yeah, I think the AI art is really powerful, and the one I've been using is actually the Stability AI, Stable Diffusion demo. Like, let's try a prompt. Gorilla, giant horse in a landscape. I think Stable Diffusion, okay, the application to BC, you will get this a lot, and you're gonna get put into queue, and then it's gonna take a long time. The one that's actually in the Photoroom runs faster at the moment because it's probably using like a special yeah, I think it's a little bit like if you use like a Google Colab or like virtual machine that you pay for it, right? Okay, this is actually generating faster. Giant goat sculpture in landscape grass area. Okay, yeah. Of course, all of this will cost like a machine power. It's calculating in the background. Like if you use something like Google Colab, if I'm lucky during the day and connect, I can get Google Colab. It's like a virtual machine somewhere at the Google server that you can connect. Sometimes you get the one with CPU, with the GPU, and it's gonna run faster with NVIDIA. My iMac M1 is not that fast to calculate this. I can set up the Stable Diffusions using Stability AI inside my machine, but it's not as fast. Oh, by the way, DallE and MidJourney is their training data is not free. Okay, unlike Stability AI, it's actually like this is open source, so you can download it, install it in your machine, so you can run it. The one I'm using here is the one I'm testing, and it generates an image every 30 minutes, so it's really slow. However, I run it overnight, so I can get like 8 and 12, maybe 12 image based on my prompt For example, the one I have created, like this mask. This is like a steampunk ancient mask. It generates all kind of design of mask. Sometimes the mask is being cropped, but sometimes you get something like this, and it's you can kind of use this as a, you know, like a middle person artist between you and what you want to create, like maybe for your clients or maybe just for yourself, for your own movie that hasn't been made. You can kind of use Stability AI. So I made a couple of things. Okay, this is like some kind of goddess riding a snail. It's not exactly doing it. A goddess riding a white horse. This is like a baby looking for money underwater, based on a famous city cover. This is sunflower, not as beautiful as with the Stability AI. The result might be a little bit surreal. Okay, it's not perfect. Like this is panda kicking dictators. There's a lot of mask. Sometimes it give let's see, this is the mask. Not all of the picture will give you a result. Sometimes you get a Rick Astley because it's censored. Okay, you cannot create you can if you're doing it on your own machine, you can actually unlock the censorship, but yeah, this is just some of the image creations. Installing the Stability AI takes a little bit of Python knowledge. If you run it using Google Colab, it's gonna be easier because it has like some of the notebook example here. This is a Python Jupyter notebook that's online, and you can save it into your drive, and you can run all of this, and you're gonna get a result. It's currently not running because I don't have the machine that's using GPU. If I'm lucky, I can get GPU at some point. If I'm lucky, I will probably do like another video. But anyway, it's similar like what Photoroom is giving here. Golden horse sculpture, actually maybe monkey sculpture in landscape full of sunflowers. This is still really quite new, maybe this week or last week. It's gonna be perhaps gonna be like part of Photoroom. You need probably become like a pro subscriber for this, but okay, this one is beautiful. Yeah, this is what I mean. You're creating some things out of thin air, like out of nothing. Nothing is all just like your imaginations, but the AI can help you. If you use MidJourney or DallE, you might get something that's more realistic, like really realistic. Like sometimes the render is also surprisingly good. It looks like a final artwork, but for me, like, okay, this is like incredible. For us, maybe that's doing the job as an artist, you probably want to use like Stability AI and kind of using it as a middle person. Okay, we also have Sketchfab, right? If you're like a traditional artist, your Sketchfab and 3D of course give you ability to find an image, and then you can actually download the 3D model. It doesn't always need to be 3D, but like I said, you're given so many things, like so many assets and all kind of reference that you can use. So in the past, you probably look at this and you want to use it in your comics, you probably redraw it, right? If you're really like a comic artist, pure comic artist, you don't use collage, or maybe you're like a manga artist, or you can also study this and then you draw it from imaginations. That's also one thing. to remember. Don't lose your artistic skill. I mean, some people maybe feels more talented or have different kind of style than the others, but it's really up to you. Like, each artist is kind of individual. You can't be the same. So, and yeah, if we import that OBJ from Sketchfab, so let's see this aux. Did I download it? I just wanna bring this in, you know. Oh, it's actually zip. Okay. Back to Blender. File, import, OBJ, and Blender. Eventually, maybe Blender will have some kind of AI ways to bring like 2D generated image, or maybe 3D in this case. Yeah, anyway, it doesn't have texture. But you can give a sun and render it because it's 3D. Yeah, what's my point? Where am I? 3D, 2D imaginations, and this is actually based on a sculpt, and someone had probably studied the sculpt, referencing real physical model and turn it into a sculpt. Okay, this is another example of Stable Diffusion, but this is actually quite clever. This was trained by Justin Pinkney. So if we feed it an image or photo, this is like this is from Twitter. This lady is feeding this tiny cow, maybe baby cow. If I put this online, and then it will create image variations based on that idea. So it's understand the context. There's this woman, maybe this Asian lady, and then it's generating similar photos or variations based on it, and you can submit it, create more. If your machine is like M2 with 16 GB or 32 GB of RAM, you can run this faster, like 30 seconds per image, and you can do all sort of things. This is the variations that you can create. That's my token that you shouldn't see. Oh yeah, okay. Art style. This is Yoji Shinkawa, the concept artist for Metal Gear Solid. I really love his artworks and illustrations. There's yeah, it's I really like line art personally. This is more like more than just line art. It's like a brush stroke with it has certain style. So if I just use this and paste it here, soldiers, running around the city. Like, you can perhaps like train yourself to have style that's similar to like kind of like matching certain artists like Miyazaki Hayao. Like, okay, yeah, see, it's trying to do what I asked this prompt to do, right? Oh, I'm just gonna take a screenshot because it's really cool. Soldiers playing suckers. Some artists have like a really distinct style that you can immediately tell, okay, that's Yoji Shinkawa or Miyazaki or Satoshi Kon. Let's see, or let's try Satoshi Kon. Satoshi Kon passed away at early age, like 40 or 50. unfortunately, and also Otomo Katsuhiro. Yeah. Okay, I think I gonna stop here because there's a bell delivery for me. But anyway, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.